My name is Becky, and this is the Discuss Show.
Hi, my name is Kayode, and you are watching the Discuss Show.
The Discuss Show is a platform where people come together to discuss and analyze issues facing Nigeria. And not just to discuss and analyze, but to provide solutions to the society they want to see.
So on today's show, we'll be having two guests that will be coming to talk about how the society is and how the country is and the solution that we can provide together and sit down together and discuss. Hi everyone. On today's episode of the Discuss Show, we'll be having two of our guests here to discuss about the this current state of the country. We're going to be talking about the national anthem, and we're going to analyze it. That is it that the public office holder are to serve. We're telling them to introduce themselves now, and please be with us.
My name is Joe. Thank you for having me.
My name is Toby, and I'm glad to be on the show this afternoon.
Thank you for coming to the show today. So on today's topic, we'll be having to analyze about the current Nigerian state and the national anthem, and how have we listened to the national anthem and applied it to our ways of life in Nigeria. And my co-host here will be the one to continue. Over to you, Becky, please.
Yes, thank you, Kirby. So, Toby, the first second stanza of the national anthem says, "Arise, O compatriots, Nigeria call obey." So, what do you think what does that mean to you?
Thank you so much. Arise, O compatriots. Nigeria is a great land of opportunity, and we have people that have actually put down their life at stake for the independence of Nigeria. So when Nigeria anthem is saying, "Arise, O compatriots," we as a fellow youth are supposed to rise to the stand of Nigeria at any time. But now, as the situation is now, we could see the succession of some of these old compatriots still holding office posts. So I can say for now that the anthem has actually not served we, the newer generation.
So sorry, sir. Can I ask you, when you said compatriots, is it that the youth of today are not rising up enough to the task of the country?
Thank you so much. We have so many youths that are capable and viable for this office post. But because of the greediness and the nonchalant attitude of our old compatriots, because that's the main issue of discussion, so we should use the term compatriots. So they are not ready to leave the office for the newer generation. Let's look at the likes of Agui Rosie. Let's look at the likes of Yakubu Gowon. Some of them held this office post at the tender age of 20s to 30s. And some of them are still holding the office post to this moment. So it's not as if the youth are not rising up, but they are not giving the youth the opportunity to actually hold up to this office position. Thank you.
So, Mr. Shion, do you agree with what Mr. Ditumoni said?
So I would rather start on a lighter note. Back then in school, it was not "O compatriots." It was "Arise, O compatriots." Then Nigeria's call obey. So
That's right.
So that was how many of us grew up with the words. So the words for most of us, especially for the ones who were not privileged. When I mean privileged, I mean the ones who were not opportune to go to private schools, the sophisticated schools. That was what it means to us. We didn't even understand that there are all compatriots. The word does not sound like compatriot, and the word compatriot is similar to the word patriotism. So being patriotic was not what we sang, and I'm sure that even for many of us, the word is still yet to find its meaning in our real sense, and that's why we're discussing it, and that's why I think it's a nice idea that we are discussing the national anthem, because not many of us have actually dealt with the meaning of what it means to be O compatriots. And then when we are talking about arise, call, obey, yes, I agree with Toby for stating the fact that there must be equal opportunities for young and adults to arise. There must be fair share of equal opportunities for people to arise. And if the older generations who were given the opportunities at their early stage of life would prevent the younger ones, then there will be chaos. There will be chaos. But I love the second question you asked, which has to do with the fact that are we really arising as youth? And if you ask me if I must be sincere with you, I will say no. Youths are not arising yet.
Well, sorry to cut in this session, but as at last year, I think that was around October time / September when the NSAS started. It was a beacon of hope for all youths in the country that we can actually fight for our rights. And is it that there has been a progress, or the progress has stalled, or the youths are saying yes, the massacre happened and everything, which the government died down, which we don't know yet, or to get the full report of what happened. But can we say it changed something in everyone, or it's just that everybody has given up on hope that the country can become better?
Thank you for the question. But depending on who is analyzing the scenario, that will determine the response and the results that we think we got. But what I think we got was not far-fetched from what the other generations had done before, because older generations had protested in time past. Older generations have lamented over bad governance in time past. Yes, not in the crowd that we did in talking about NSAS. But I won't base our rise based on just protest, just that we can exhibit our anger, our issues. Even that's animalistic tendencies. Actually, if you get an animal to face difficult situations, it's going to turn back and say, "Oh, I can't face this anymore. I have to get back." So I think it's just animalistic to react. So we cannot say that is progress in itself. So what I would call progress is what we are doing here. The kind of sensitization that needs to come from the youth. The kind of awareness that needs to come from the youth. We talked about people who were taking government, taking parastatals at the age of 20s, 30s. But you can't doubt their competence as at the time they took it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. That I would fault the competence of our youth right now to take up offices.
So, thank you very much, Mr. Ashton. So, talking about competencies, are you now saying that, which takes me to the other standards of the national anthem, that says that to serve our father's land with love, strength, and faith. So, are you saying that we don't have that strength to serve our father's land as youth, or even as the older generation that are there right now? Are they serving with that competence of faith and with love in them?
So back to where I started from, that the national anthem brings back memory, and then in the school where I went to, it's not to serve our fatherland, it's to serve Fusa.
Yeah, I remember. That's what it used to be then.
Yeah, it's to serve Fusa, depending on who is singing it at the school. Yes, so which still brings me back to the fact that we can't demand what we have not taught.
Yes.
We can't demand what we don't know. Many people don't even know the statements and the stanzas in the national anthem. So why would you demand? Is it not just pure wickedness to demand results from someone that is not informed about the expected effort or performance? So to serve the fatherland, it should be something that we should have inculcated even from the primary school. But unfortunately, major government schools don't even know the meanings of those words, and it doesn't make sense. So we still point and draw me back to my conclusion that we are not informed, and transformation starts from information. If we must transform a nation, then we must first look for information. If not, we will just be going around the circle and coming over to the same tactics and the same results that we've always been getting.
Thank you very much. Toby, with what Sean just said right now about serving our father's land, you know, we heard recently that the government is going to scrap the NYSC.
Okay.
So are they actually kind of allowing us to serve our father's land by scrapping the NYSC? Because you know every youth that finish higher institution, the next thing is for you to go and serve. You know, so are you saying that we are not upholding the national anthem, which says we should serve our father's land?
Thank you so much. Let me start by taking us down the memory lane. General Yakubu Gowon actually brought about NYSC. And the purpose of the NYSC is actually to unite Nigeria together.
Okay.
NYSC came as a result of the war that happened in Nigeria, the civil war of 1967 to 1970, and that was what brought about NYSC. That's number one. Number two, the popular anthem of NYSC says, "Youth obey the clarion call. Let us lift our nation high." Now, I see government trying to scrap NYSC out as one of the main key to actually separate Nigeria. Because the main objective of NYSC being brought down, number one, is to actually know about other people's culture, know their way of life, know their styles of doing things. That's number one. Number two is to assist you financially. We could see the high level of unemployment rates in our country now, and one of the purpose of NYSC is to actually help you financially for that 1 year. And we'll see some youth that are actually reasonable enough to save from that 33,000, and they are doing very well. We have so many people that can actually point down their success in business down to the 33,000 or the former 19,800 being collected. That's number one. But I see the government not doing the right thing to have actually proposed to have said they want to scrap out NYSC. It will kind of make things actually easier to break Nigeria up. Now, from NYSC now, we could see inter-ethnic marriage. We see people actually going to NYSC, and after their NYSC service, they pick up their wife there, and some of these things actually brought the unity that we're talking about in our national anthem. Now, let me buttress what Sheun just said about the faith strength. Now, some of our leaders are actually getting weak by the day, and they are getting outdated from what is actually happening, from reality. Now, the way things are being done in this generation now, some of these people are actually out of the limelight. Now, it's high time for we, the younger generation, to come in with the new technologies and new information and new things, the ideas that are coming out now, and let us do things actually differently. We have youth that are bold, we have youth that have the strength and the capability. And the funniest thing is that some of our youth are actually going out of the country and they are making exploits. Why? There's a room for them to actually make exploits. The question now is there a room for us in Nigeria to make exploits? Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Toby. We are discussing the national anthem today, so I'll take you down also. When we talk about to serve our father's land, are they serving? Are the current leaders that we have now? Are they serving us, or we are the ones serving them? Or is it that the the people don't know the information of what it means to serve and be served, to
Thank-
follow and to be followed.
Thank you, Kayode. I can practically say that we are serving them. We are serving them. Now, the only time you could ever see your your so-called political leaders is when they need your favor, and that's during election. That's the only moment you can see their favor outright. Now, let me quickly just delve into some things, then we'll move on. Some of these our political leaders sef, they are not even living in their area of constituencies. So is it the politician that is not even living in his area of constituency that wants to know what the welfare of the community is, or wants to know how the people are faring? Are you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
for now, I believe that we are the one actually serving them. They are not serving us. Now, election will soon arrive now, and the only thing you just have access to is the 1 Congo or 2 Congos of rice plus the 1,000 naira and the ororo and epo that you are being given
Which
to
is sad.
the popular norms.
Which is very sad.
Do you
Very
understand
sad.
what I'm
I
saying now?
understand you.
Now, after that, I don't blame the poor masses, because in their own self, they know the only means and the only way to just get this the national cake is only through that means. After that 1 Congo of rice, ororo, epo and everything, they assume the position QED. You don't hear anything from them again. Moreover, you see politicians digging well and pasting a placard. This well was dug by so. This is the money that is actually meant for you, for me, and for you. So no and for the viewers at home. So no project should be done by a politician and you put a placard in your name. Is what we are paying for. What's the essence of the tax we are paying for? What's the essence of the community levies and development fees we are paying for? And you see, I went to one of the remote area in Ibadan during one of my work progress, and I saw a well being dug by a deputy speaker of Oyo State, a well, and it was written boldly on it. I'm very sure such a person has been given maybe a money to actually dig a borehole. You dug a well and you still put your name as the person who dug the well. It shouldn't be. This is meant for everybody. You didn't use your personal money to actually dig the well. It's the constituency project. So why put in your name? So that's one of the reasons why I'm saying we are actually serving them. They are not serving us. Thank you.
Mr. Sheon, what's your view on the question I asked earlier?
I think it's a nice question, and I think Toby did well in answering it. But where I think I thought his response is by saying the people is not at fault. The people are actually at fault. The people are at fault. If you are watching me and then you're thinking, what's your fault? Your fault is that you have refused to know what belongs to you.
That's right.
But sorry to cut in, Mr. Sheon.
Yes.
So people don't know at home, and that's why we are having the discussion here.
Yes.
And that's why we are saying whatever we talk about here, we want to make sure that the viewers at home they understand that yes, like you said, it's their fault, but it's now for them to what
Start
do
up
better.
to listen.
So please continue.
So leadership that will bring me to the point that a good leadership is not earned. You don't earn good leadership. You demand good leadership. You demand good leadership, especially in the climate where we are in, where, like you said, even common sense should have told you that I shouldn't put my name behind this. You can't do a shitty work and put your name behind it. It takes some level of God to now do a shitty work and put your name behind it. So it just a proof that we've not demanded at any level. We've not demanded good governance, and the reason why we've not demanded good governance, and the reason is because we don't know. So it will be very shocking that you get into some of those constituencies and they keep hailing the guy who dug well.
saw a picture. I saw a picture
That's it.
where.
And the
our
well, the well
minister-
actually is not even looking well kept, because I'm very sure the well is the only source of water in that community.
I saw a picture of where Honorable Desmond Elliot did a planned bridge. You know,
Imagine.
and this constituency.
And it was well
there was a-
commissioned.
Yeah, it was
Imagine.
commissioned and it was put there that this bridge was constructed by the Honorable Minister Desmond Elliot.
No,
And I also saw, sorry for cutting you, I also saw where the wife of the first lady of, I've forgotten the state, of the governor, going to, during the COVID time, to cut ribbon for a plastic, you know,
I saw the images myself too.
and it's sad.
It's so sad. Like I said, it's so sad. Some of these things are actually what we actually elected them for to do. Bring these amenities to the community and do a nice job for us.
So are you saying right now that with the way things are going, with the way these our so-called leaders are going, they are not doing the right, they are not serving the masses?
They are not serving the masses.
Obviously, I'm not sure if they don't know that they are not serving the masses. You know, you could be acting in ignorance in some cases.
Yeah.
I think they are doing it purposefully. They are deliberate about not serving the masses. They know they are not serving the masses and they are not willing to serve the masses, because every time the mass is playing, they try to clamp such voices down. So if I don't know that I'm doing something wrong to you, if you express your disagreement to that, it should point out what I'm doing wrong here and make me shift my ground to begin to act in accordance to what you would want me to do to you. But they are not doing it. They are doing it purposefully, because every time you raise your voice, they clamp it down. So what that tells us is that they are not willing to work for a better governance. They are not willing to serve the people. But this is where the people are actually now at blame. If someone is outrightly telling you he's not willing to serve you, it's outrightly telling you that your voice does not count. It's outrightly telling you that you don't actually matter. Then why are you still voting such person? If not that you probably it takes an insane person to elect an insane person. And that brings me to my point that if we must transform this nation, it must come from people who are informed. People who demand more than just borehole in 21st century.
Yeah. Going with what you just said, the labor of our heroes past shall not be in vain. We have seen or we've heard past heroes. You know, we have the Nnamdi Azikiwe, Awolowo that gave free education. You know, so and these things are not being done right now. We cannot say that Desmond Elliot has everything that goes wrong right now in Nigeria is Desmond Elliot's fault. We cannot say.
Well, the labor of our heroes past shall not be in vain. Their labor already getting to be in vain.
Sorry to cut in. Can we also say that are they real heroes in the real sense also?
Thank you.
Maybe when you are done, answering a question.
Thank you. Some of our founding fathers has actually put in a lot of work together to make Nigeria a great nation. There are some of their works that are of a good recommendation, and there are some of their work that are reprovable rather. And the new system of government currently are actually going against some of this work that they have done. Now, our economy is on a free fall now. Inflation is on the higher side. You know, we were discussing something earlier before coming into the studio, and pure water that used to be bought some shillings and kobo, now pure water per one is now 20 naira. I was discussing with a friend earlier, and I was telling him that people who travel to the Western world few years back, the same set of things they bought about 20 years ago, they are still getting it for the same price. in this year alone we could see changes in commodity and price of goods and services. So some of the labours of these people which make Nigeria giant of Africa are actually falling apart, like Chinua Achebe truly said. Things are actually falling apart.
I mean, I bought Nigeiran today. If you don't understand what Nigeiran is, I know you will understand. I bought Nigeiran today for 1,000 naira,
And it's nothing to write home about.
I could count it that it was 4 or 5 that was given to me.
So Nigeiran is other parts of meat.
The inner part of meat.
The
like
inner part of, for those that don't understand, the liver, the kidney.
and stuff.
So we actually just need to actually just let our voices be heard. And this is why this discourse show is being brought down here. Our voices should be heard. Let not the labours of our heroes past actually go in vain. We are actually commend some of our leaders that are doing well. We can't dispute the fact that some of them are doing well, but the masses, the majority of these politicians are actually not doing the right thing.
We'll be right back. Don't go away. Welcome back. So if you are just joining us, we are analysing and discussing Nigerian national anthem. Over to you, Kylie.
So earlier on, we were talking about how our heroes in the past have done well for us. Either what they've done in the past, the things that they have achieved in the past, that the present ones that we have now, what are they doing about it? Are they progressing? Are we regressing? So that's the last question we asked Mr. Ajitumobi, which he will continue now. Please, Mr. Ajitumobi, over to you.
Thank you so much. Like I was saying about the labour of our hero past, the government should actually put in more effort. If you are not ready to replace yourself with viable youth, then please, what Baba Obafemi Awolowo did for us then, we are still enjoying it till this moment. I don't think anything of such has actually countered the Western education that Baba Awolowo made free for all. Today, at least a child born into Nigeria must at least have a school cert, like the popular people call it. That's the Primary 6 certificate. But the question is, can the Primary 6 certificate actually take us anywhere? We have people with degrees, we have people with masters, with PhD, and they are still jobless, roaming about in the streets. So we need more of our leaders to actually put in more effort, put in more labor, so that the ones that our heroes